historical town of Zaria is the second largest city in Kaduna State in northern Nigeria. It is 85.6 kilometers from Kaduna, the state capital, and 152 kilometers from the historical town of Kano. I arrived in the town. To find out why the Nigerian Army killed hundreds of Shiites of the Islamic Movement led by Shaik Ibrahim Zakzaky between 12 and 14 December 2015 and burned many to ashes. The leader and his wife were also shot while his children were killed in his presence. His house was set ablaze and his mother's tomb was destroyed. Zaria was the first town to commence my investigation. Shaik Ibrahim Zakzaky was born in May 1953 in Kwarbai quarters in the Zaria Asian city. His parents were Yaqub and Saliha, Islamic scholars who mastered the Holy Quran. Zakzaky also comprehended the Quran when he was 14 years old. Zakzaky is his nickname, meaning a person whose genesis is from Zaria. After finishing the Zaria Local School in 1971, he was enrolled in the School of Arabic Studies, SAS Kano. SAS still exists along Emirs Palace Road in the old Kano city. Again, he was admitted into the Department of Economics, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, popularly called ABU Zaria, in 1976. One of the Sheikh Zakzaky's children, Shaik Ibrahim, compiled the following information about the family. She said their father married their mother on July 8, 1984. Suhaila's father said there were 9 children of the Zakzaky family. Her compilation comes as follows. I was at Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, to investigate more about the life of Zakzaky at the university in the 1970s, especially how the Islamic movement began. I am now in Area G, in ABU Zaria, approaching the home of Professor Abdullahi Lalladi, a professor of polymer and textile engineering, and Paul Sunday Achimugu, professional chart occupant, Department of Polymer and Textile Engineering, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. He has been supporting the Zakzaky-led Islamic movement since the 1980s. He made many reveals over Zakzaky's life in the university, the beginning of the action, and the first arrest. I arrived at the front of his house and descended from the car to meet him. Who welcomed me warmly. Professor Lalladi revealed how Zakzaky began the Islamic movement at Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. He also shed light on why Zakzaky was arrested while an ABU student. Could you recall the days of Shaik Zakzaky while he was in Ahmadu Bello University?
Yes, he was an active member of the Muslim Student Society. When he came in, he was an imam at the masjid or the mosque or the hostel where he was. At the same time, actively involved in the activities of the Muslim Student Society.
There was a notion which says that Shaik Zakzaky took an advantage of conflict of opinion between communism, Islam, and Christianity. Can you ascertain that notion?
Well, I wouldn't say a sort of conflict between these ideologies that you mentioned. What happened was that during their school days, there was this thing in vogue. People, some identify themselves as communists, some as capitalists, and there was this sort of struggle between the ideology of communism and capitalism, and then each one was trying to say this is the better method of governing the society. So with his Islamic background and his Islamic knowledge and the zeal to see that Islam governs himself as an individual and the society.
Why was Shaik Zakzaky arrested while he was in Ahmadu Bello University?
Well, you see, there was this problem that there were those people that were named as care guides, some sort of group of cult of some students that normally do their activities over the weekend. And they come to the dining hall of the university and they use the facilities in the kitchen, in the dining hall, in taking their farm wine. And this is a general place where Muslims and non-Muslims and even those that know religion go there to eat and use the same facilities. So Sheikh protested, why should they be using the facilities of the university, which is meant for all, to be committing their crimes? Thus, the parakas started. Then eventually The university came to the rescue of the K guides because they saw it. Why should they be denied their right? Even the then head of state from Lagos, he sent out detachment of military that if it requires crushing the whole of Samuru, he was ready to do it. Why should people be prevented from taking palm wine?
Who was the Nigerian president then?
It was President Olusegun Obasanjo, the general then.
Yeah.
It was a military regime.
Yeah. And lastly, Shaik Zakzaky was in ABU and he left in 1979. Was he expelled?
No, he was not expelled. Rather, as I was saying to you, when this trouble started, they were rounded up in the mosque. Exams were taking place. They were prevented from writing their examinations, final examination. They were arrested, taken to police station, taken to Zaria prison. When eventually he was released, exams were conducted for him for the papers that he missed, and he passed their papers. He passed all his papers. At the floor of the Senate, it was discussed. Okay, he was being rude to the so-called constitutional authority because he challenged the hegemony, which is un-Islamic. Therefore, they felt they should punish him, thus withholding his result. As of recent, ABU celebrated its 62nd year anniversary. Among the people of fame, a graduate of ABU, his name is captured there. I'm sure you cannot capture a name of a student that you were expelled from your university. You cannot be proud to have him, okay, this one was expelled, but he was my student. No. It's the people of fame, people of honor, people of integrity that are normally captured, and his name is there. So he couldn't have been expelled then.
Thank you. Yeah. And what is your relationship with Shaik Ibrahim Zakzaky?
Well, our relationship is, he's my master, I'm his disciple. He's my teacher, I'm his student. He's my source of inspiration. He's my connection to my creator. If that will answer you.
After my interview with Professor Abdullahi Daladi, he accompanied me close to the car, carrying me, and bid goodbye. After visiting Iran in 1980, Zakzaky returned to Nigeria and declared his rebellion against the authority and the country's constitution. Visiting Iran was the root of his adherence to Shiite belief. Shiite is one of the two Islamic branches, and most Iranian people adhere to Shiite principles. This Britannica website explains more about the Shiite and their origin. Zakzaky's Funtua Declaration speech was delivered on May 5, 1980 at Government College Funtua, then in Kaduna State. Presently, Funtua is part of Katsina State. It is 69.9 kilometers from Zaria town. The speech was called the Funtua Declaration. On November 11, 2019, the United Kingdom Islamic Human Rights Commission published the full text of the speech, in which Zakzaky described the Nigerian authorities for the misdeed. He also blamed other Muslims for allowing what he called transgressors to govern them. He affirmed his rebellion against the rules and the Nigerian constitution. For reference, you can find the full speech of Zakzaky's Funtua Declaration on this website address. In 1981, Zakzaky was arrested in Sokoto, northwestern Nigeria, after delivering lectures and was sentenced to jail for 3 years. At that moment, Alhaji Shehu Shagari was the Nigerian president. He was also arrested and sentenced to another jail term between December 1984 to August 1985, while Muhammad Buhari was the Nigerian military president. The Buhari regime said Zakzaky was sentenced to jail for security reasons. A military president, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, also arrested Zakzaky twice. The first was between May 1987 to May 1989. The arrest was made after the 1987 Kafancan religious crisis. The second arrest happened in 1991 before Zakzaky left Malam Aminu Kano International Airport to attend an Islamic conference in London, but he was released after 5 days. General Sani Abacha, a military president, jailed Zakzaky in 1996. President Abdul Salam Abubakar released him after the death of Abacha in 1999. In July 2014, the Nigerian Army killed 34 Shiites while on a pro-Palestinian procession in Zaria. 3 among those killed were the Zakzaky's biological sons, Ahmad, Hamid and Mahmoud. It was during the period of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan as the Nigeria's president. Meanwhile, on Saturday, December 12, 2015, 6 months after the swearing-in of Muhammad Buhari as the Nigerian elected president, the Shiites encountered another slam from the Nigerian Army at their Grand Activities Center, Husseiniya Baqiyatullah, adjacent to the Zaria Polo Club on Zaria Funtua Road. The Shiites were preparing to celebrate the Prophet Muhammad's birthday. Around 11 a.m., the Nigerian armies arrived and stationed a few meters away from the center. Shortly after noon, the soldiers cycled the Husseiniya building and took different positions. Eventually began shooting the Shiite in front of the building. The then spokesperson of the Nigerian Army, Colonel Usman Kuka Sheka, explained why the soldiers fired against the Shiite.
So we were on our part, we were on our way from Dutse to Zaria, first and foremost to pay courtesy call on the Emir of Zazzau, who had to cut short some of his engagements in Kaduna because of the graduation convocation ceremony to be with us. Somewhere around 2:30 in the afternoon, and along Sokoto Road, just shortly by the railway clinic, if you are familiar with Zaria, a group of youth started springing up all over the place, coming from PZN and very close to Husseiniya Bakia, which is the spiritual headquarters of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria. And they started encircling the convoy of the Chief of Army Staff. We came down, we pleaded with them, and we made them to see reason. But before you could say Jack Robinson, people have started pelting stone, and there were loud bangs here and there. And of course, people are the people who were responsible for the safety and security of the Chief of Army Staff had to clear the way for the Chief of Army Staff. Remember, there were bonfires, stones, and burning tires all over the place, and no amount of pleading that could persuade them to do otherwise.
Meanwhile, I have found a video clip showing the armies burning tires close to Baqiyatullah. Suhaila, the daughter of Shaik Ibrahim Zakzaky, recalled how the Nigerian armies reached in their house on December 12, 2015.
At about 10 p.m., I think after 10 p.m., maybe around 10:30, when everything was seemingly calm at home, we heard gunshots. And from the time that those gunshots started at around 10 p.m., 10:30 maybe, we asked what was going on. It turned out that the army had sent more soldiers and they were coming towards our house.
Zinat Ibrahim is the wife of Shaik Zakzaky. She revealed how the soldiers shot her and her husband and killed 3 of their children in their presence.
Then I saw Hamad in front of me with half of his neck cut, just like the way animals are slaughtered, you know. His half of his neck is cut, and then I saw him like this in front of me. And then Humed too, that is the youngest one. Hamad at that time was exactly 19 because he was born December, 10th December. So he was, you know, this thing happened 12th December and he was killed. 12th was Saturday, 13, 14, was killed on the 14th of December. So it's exactly 19 years then. Then Humed was 14 years. Is the youngest son, or is my youngest son. So he was, then immediately they did this, and I saw Humed in front of Hamad. He was like this. He's dead. They have already killed him. And then Hamad is the only one I was able to see. I can see half of his neck cut as if a slaughtered animal. He was slaughtered by the bullets. In the case of Humed, and at that time too, I was also shot because the bullets were, I could feel the bullets going into my stomach, you know. And the moment the bullets went into my stomach, then I felt as if it is drawn down, it is drawn to my side, you know, and then I fell down. It was then one of the girls, our daughter, said, they have killed Hamad and Humed. Then I saw them in front of me. I could not even hold them. I can't even, because I was also shot. There was nothing I can do. And then I heard one of our daughters saying, they have shot Abba.
This video shows the interior and the front of Shaik Zakzaky's house. After the Nigerian army destroyed it and burnt many to ashes. Also, there were dead bodies on the street. The army also allowed hooligans to search and snatch in the pocket of the dead bodies. Why did the Nigerian army move to Zakzaky's house in Gellesu? The home is 4.5 kilometers from the Husseiniya Baqiyatullah, where they said Shiites blocked the road. Tukur is located at the Zaria modern site along Gaskiya Road in Kaduna State. It is bordered to Kufena Hill, Wusasa, and Galma village. I was there to meet the mother of one of the Zaria massacre victims. Who was killed at Zakzaky's house. The mother's name is Fatima Yahya, while the victim is Nusaiba Abubakar, aged 22. She was born on June 18, 1993. According to her mother, Nusaiba attended Easy Talent Nursery and Primary Tidinjukun in Zaria from 1998 to 2001. Then she was enrolled on Wisdom Academy Zaria between 2002 to 2007. She was a student at the International Secondary School, PZ, Zaria, from 2008 to 2012. Before Nusaiba was killed at Zakzaky's house on December 13, 2015, she was a 200-level student of biochemistry at Danfodio University, Sokoto. Her hobbies include reading, and she was committed to sacrificing her life in defense of Zakzaky, which she fulfilled her promise on December 13, 2015. When I arrived at the Nusaybah's family house, I asked for permission and was allowed to get inside and met the mother in her room.
So a lokacin ta kira ni da rana kafin dare din, ta kira ni da rana tana irin tambaya na haka cewa tana son ta je ta zo, sai na ce mata ai ko sun zo ba za su iya shigowa Husainiya ba. Haka daga karshe daga bisani dai ta kira ni ta ce za ta je Gelle su. Lokacin ba a riga an fara komai a can Gelle su ba, gidan da jagora Hafizahullah yake. So har zuwa dare ta isa Gelle su ita da Fatima Ahmad Gashuwa, ita ma ɗaya daga cikin shahidanmu. To ta kira ni irin da asuba haka ranar, bayan abubuwan da suka faru a Husainiya sun faru, muna cikin Husainiya bayan kashe-kashen da aka yi da kuma irin ɓarnarnaki da dai suka yi dai haka a ciki. Da asuba ta kira ni, wanda shine zan iya cewa magana na da ita na ƙarshe.
Gwagwalada town is located along the Lokoja Expressway. It is 285 kilometers from Zaria and 58.5 kilometers from Abuja, the Nigerian capital. Abubakar Zaki is the representative of the Islamic Movement in Gwagwalada. During the massacre, he lost his 3 daughters, his granddaughter and an in-law at Shaik Zakzaky's house. When I contacted him, he made lots of reveals. This road led to Zaki's family residence. I walked until I reached the front of the house. On top of the building is a white flag with an Arabic inscription. Abubakar Zaki came out smiling and led me inside the house. As soon as we entered, I saw a poster with pictures of the 5 killed victims on the wall.
Yana guda 3 ne aka kashe da surikina, mijin yata da kuma jika yar shi surukin nawa kenan. Suka zama su 5 kenan aka kashe su a wannan ranar Lahadi 2015. Ita Aisha an haife ta a ranar 25 ga watan Disamba 1993. Ta yi makaranta nursery, primary school da kuma secondary school kafin aurenta. Ta yi karatun Alƙur'ani kafin aka yi mata aure da shi Shaik Buhari Bello Jega, wanda Allah ya arzuta su da haihuwar iya Batun a shekarar 2013. 2014 aka haife ta Batula din bayan auren su kenan. Sai kuma ita Nusaiba wanda take kanuwa ga Aisha, wanda aka haife ta a November 1995. Ta yi primary school, ta yi secondary school, tana kuma karatu a Jami'ar University of Abuja. Tana 200 level, shine wannan waƙiya na Zaria aka kashe ta cikin wanda aka kashe. Akwai kuma kanuwar su Fatima wanda ita kuma ta yi, an haife ta a 20th July 1998. Ita ma ta yi primary school, ta yi secondary school, tana karatu a College of Education, wanda wannan waƙiya ita ma ya haɗa da ita. To sannan shi kuma Shaik Buhari, wanda shi ma yana nan tare da mu tsawon lokaci, na yayi makaranta primary din shi, secondary din shi da university din shi, yana kan masters din shi, shine wannan waƙiya ta rutsa da su dukansu dai a Gelle su a gidan jagora Shaik Ibrahim Zakzaky. Labarin farko da muka samu shine na kashe ita Fatima. Lokacin da shi Buhari ya samu labari, sai aka ce ya faɗi yana ta mirgina yana kuka dangane da wannan. Akwai bayanin da ta kira wayan shi babbanta injiniya Abdullahi, take gaya mishi cewa to ga ta nan cikin ƙawayenta dukansu an kashe su, tana kwance cikin su. So in ya ji shiru, in an ji shiru dai to shikenan ita ma an kashe ta. Wannan shine ƙarshen labarin Fatima. Daga lokacin ya buga wasa ne ta ba. Muna bibiyan su dai, ana dan magana da su wuraren kaman karfe 10 zuwa 11 da wani abu haka, sai kuma gashi sun bugo waya suna cewa an kashe Buhari. To daga nan zuwa wani lokaci can na sai ba sai ta kira waya ta ce abba ina neman gafaran saboda yanayi da zai iya yiwa ya zama cewa kila mun samu ganawa kuma saboda ni an harbe ni a ciki kuma ya Aisha an harbe ta a kanta. Sai na tambaye ta nace to kuna ina ne? Sai ta ce suna cikin gidan jagora.
In the early morning of December 13, 2015, the soldiers ambushed and killed many Shiites at Darul Rahama. It is another center belonging to Zakzaky. Before the Zaria massacre, it was used as a graveyard, conference center, and film village. Darul Rahama is an Arabic word meaning the home of blessings. Located at Dambo village, 10.3 kilometers from the Husseiniya Baqiyatullah. It is a few meters from the main Old Jos Road in Zaria. Now, I'm on my way to Darul Rahama. Look at the current views of the Darul Rahama 7 years after the Zaria massacre. On the other side were the pictures of the place before it was demolished on December 13, 2015. It is still used as a graveyard. I met some Shiites who are staying permanently to supervise the surrounding. Rahama community is less than a kilometer from the Darul Rahama site. The people eyewitnessed what happened when the soldiers came to Darul Rahama. Can you see some buildings from a little far? The houses are in the Rahama neighborhood. Everyone can sight those buildings from this point. I had to trek from Darul Rahama until I reached the Rahama community. They welcomed me warmly.
Da sanyin safiya kamar karfe 6 muna zaune a gida haka bayan mun fito sallan asalatu muna dan zaune haka a gida shikenan ba zato ba tsammani sai muka ji harbe muka ce lafiya sai muka fito ko da muka fito sai muka ce ai Darul Rahman ga sojoji can suna kashe yan uwa musulmi dan muka yi da fifi mata su kuma in su suka ji tsoro suka firgita suka gudu
matan ku kenan
matan mu da yara suka je can wasu gidan fulani nan suka zauna su ma fulani su ba sun ji tsoro kar wannan abu ya zo ya shafe su aka ce musu a'a su saurara tukuna to ko da muka fito muna hange
ai dare ina kuka tsaya
daidai can wancan mangurin na bakin hanya dan karamin mangurin wanda kuka fara hutuwa daga muka tsaya muna hange suna ta harbi to mu ba nan shi muka ji tsoro muka ce to kar su kuma su zo su hauro mana nan to shi dai mu muka dake suna ta harban su nan duk muna kallon abin da yake faruwa
ban katse ka ba da harbin nan su waye suke harbin kuma wa ake harbi
su jami'an tsaro suke harbin yan uwa musulmi
kun hango harbin
mun hango harbin.
The question still arises, why the Nigerian army moved to that site and killed almost everybody? In the aftermath of the Zaria massacre, the Kaduna state government sent its agent to destroy the home where Shaik Zakzaky buried his dead mother. Shaik Zakzaky's mother is Salaha Muhammad Gidado, popularly called Hajia Harijamo. She is from the Fulani clan from Mali, born in 1924. She gave birth to 12 children and Zakzaky was the 5th son. She stayed under the care of her son before she died on Monday, November 17, 2014. The site is at Jushi quarters, 3.8 kilometers from Husseiniya Baqiyatullah, where the Nigerian army said the Shiites blocked the road. This picture shows the site after 6.5 years of demolition. From the left is the street. People are crossing. On the right is the grave of Zakzaky's mother. A close neighbor of the grave site has responded to my questions. Akwai abin da ya faru shekaru 6 da suka wuce ana. A wannan ranar kana ina?
Gaskiya ina nan gida. To, nan gida. Amma da mun ga motoci ne kawai suka zo da jama'a kawai suka zo suka kewa suka kama kewa wurin nan kawai kuma abin har ma muka da kan gara a
wasu irin motoci
ne? Gireda ce. Yan sanda da sojoji ba da suka kama yi ce mu kowa kuma yi wani ba abin da suka ce wani za mu gudu muka ce a kowa ya zama shi ba ruwan su kowa ba su ce kowa kuma yi wani ba wurin mu ne ba.
To amma da suka zo rusa suwaye a gidan?
A gaskiya su ma duk masu gani sun ba su tsaya wa sun gudu kowa wani. Da su ma sun ga ganin kamar wani abu ne ba su tsaya ba gaskiya.
Kamar mu abin da muke so a gidan lokacin suwaye kun san masu gidan?
Masu gidan? Masu tsaro ne koko masu gidan?
Wanda suke da gidan da aka rusa.
An ce na Zakzaky ne.
I went to the site of Sheikh Zakzaky's house at Gellesu quarters, almost 7 years after the house was destroyed and burnt by the Nigerian army. The main entrance before reaching the house is close to the Bernardine store on the left. It is opposite the Institute of Administration, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Konga campus. The Nigerian army started shooting the Shiites from this point on the night of December 12, 2015. The Zakzaky's home was at the end of the street I am approaching now. Can you see the present scene of the Zakzaky's home in Gellesu? It has turned into an open space while the nearby residents are dumping waste at one part of the site. Also, look at the pictures of the house before December 12 and how it was during the killings. While at Gellesu, I tried to get the residents' views on what happened between 12 to December 14, 2015, but all effort proved abortive as they were not ready to respond. After the massacre, the Secretary of the State Government revealed before the Judicial Commission of Inquiry said the government officially buried 347 bodies of the Shiites at Mando village, Kaduna. I traveled to Kaduna and went to the site of the mass grave of 347 Shiites as claimed by the Kaduna State Government through the Secretary to the State Government. Mando is an area in Kaduna town located along the Birnin Gwari Road. I am now approaching the site of the mass grave at the back of the Neko Junction. Finally, I arrived and came out of the car. I looked around at the overview of the whole site before I walked toward the position of the mass grave. I stopped at the entrance toward the mass grave position. The site is more expansive. Can you sight a long coconut tree? The mass grave is close to the tree. Now I would like to get there. There were a few houses a little far from the mass grave site. I tried hearing from them about what they witnessed during the burial of the mass grave. However, nobody was ready to respond. While the Shiites concentrated on daily protests in the federal capital Abuja, Zakzaky and his wife Zinatu were detained in the Department of State Service DSS custody in Abuja. At the same time, both couples suffered from various diseases resulting from the gunshot they sustained during the Zaria massacre. Nasir Umar Zaife is a medical laboratory scientist, a disaster epidemiology, and a trainee toxicologist studying for his PhD degree in toxicology at the Shahid Beheshti University of Medical Science in Tehran, Islamic Republic of Iran. Zaife has been one of the field coordinators and a member of the medical team for Sheikh Zakzaky and his wife since 2019. After I contacted him, he offered to respond about Zakzaky and his wife's health status, but he started tracing how they had suffered illnesses while in detention.
Based on a report which has been provided by the National Ear Care Hospital or Ear Care Center in Kaduna, Nigeria, and they are the one who have conducted all the investigations through CT scanning investigations which were recommended by the experts, comprising the expert I've mentioned and also some of the experts being brought by the government when they were still in detention in Kaduna in 2019. And those are the results that I want to show to you. This is the medical report which have been provided by the National Ear Care Center in Kaduna, Nigeria. And as you can see from 2019, 23rd of July 2019, and it's a review of the CT scan brain for pellets and bullets that were found on Sheikh Zakzaky. It reveals about 43 foreign bodies, opacities of metallic density in the orbit, scalp, and also facial soft tissues of Sheikh Zakzaky, out of which these 43, up to 2 of them are complete bullets, and I can show you this complete bullets right here. So these are the pellets that the experts from the National Ear Care Center through the CT scan results have actually counted each and every one of them, and they have concluded there are about 43 on this area of Sheikh Zakzaky. And as you can see, this one is a complete bullet fragment on this side, and then on this one, this is another complete bullet fragment here, and then all the rest of them are actually broken fragments.
On Saturday, October 27, 2018, the Nigerian Army killed many Shiites at Zuba along Kaduna Road while on Ashura morning procession. Ashura is a yearly event by the Shiites worldwide on the 10th of the first month of the Islamic calendar, Muharram. The Shiites appear in black dresses to remember the brutal killing of Hussein, the grandson of Prophet Muhammad, in the desert of Karbala in Iraq in 680 AD. Abdulaziz Tahiru was 33 years old, killed during the Zuba Shiites Free Zakzaky peaceful procession. According to his brother Mustafa Tahiru, Abdulaziz was born on July 24, 1984. He attended Maigana Primary School and was admitted into Junior Secondary School Tudun Saibu. In 2011, he was enrolled on the Higher Islamic School Zaria. Before the soldiers killed him at Suba on October 27, 2018, Abdulaziz had the ambition to move to Iraq to study Islamic religion. However, the brother revealed that Abdulaziz promised he will not go while Zakzaky was in detention. I reached Maigana village in Soba local government, Kaduna State. Maigana is 37 kilometers from Zaria town. After arriving at the village, I had to ask before getting to his parents' house. Later, I reached the Dahiru family home at a cranny in Maigana village. I was allowed to get inside to meet the mother, who revealed how she received the news of her killed son. Mama, ya kika samu wannan labari?
Ayyo ta waya. An bugo mana waya ne a ce gashi shahada.
To, zaki iya tunawa da ganin shi na ƙarshe da kika yi kafin wannan abun ya faru?
To ganin shi na ƙarshe kafin abu ya faru da suke nan ya bar gida dama yana zuwa Abuja. To ya zo har suka yi bikin abokai ya tafi, to rabon shi da zai gida a lokacin nan zai samu kwanan kila sati 3.
Lokacin da kika ji wannan labari ya kika ji a zuciyarki?
Wallahi damuwan dai tunda dai na san ga halin da yake ciki, damuwa na kaɗan ne gaskiya. Ban tunda dai na san shahada ne kuma akan tafarkin Allah ya yi.
After 6 years in custody, in July 2021, Shiite leader Shaik Ibrahim Zakzaky and his wife were released unconditionally by a court in Kaduna, and soon both couples left Kaduna and settled in the federal capital Abuja. For the second time, I dropped to Darul Rahama to see the graves of the Shiite killed by the Nigerian Army and the police force. I am now at Darul Rahama and approaching the graveyard section. These graves lay the 34 Shiite killed by the Nigerian Army during the pro-Palestinian protest at PZ Zaria in July 2014. It was during the tenure of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan as Nigerian president. At the far side left are the graves of Zakzaky's sons, also killed on the same date. These are the graves of Shiite killed during Free Zakzaky peaceful protests in Abuja and other parts of Nigeria. They were shot to death by the Nigerian Army and the police force beginning in early 2016. After their release, Sheikh Zakzaky and his wife Zinat still had illness over their bodies due to gunshot during the Zaria massacre. Nasir Umar Saifi once again shed light on the current health status of the Zakzaky and his wife Zinat.
As of the 3rd of November 2022, for Shaik Ibrahim Zakzaky, we have the committee have actually concluded, or they have concluded, that they still have illnesses that include ischemic heart disease, left ventricular hypertrophy, left and right thalamic stroke, cervical spondylosis or lumbar radiculopathy, left eye anophthalmia. Shaik Zakzaky also have a right eye advanced progressive glaucoma. He has a benign prostate hypertrophy. He have metal poisoning of lead and also cadmium. And then he have penetrating forearm soft tissue injuries. And the 10th medical situation being suffered by Shaik Zakzaky is he has metallic foreign bodies, which he sustained following multiple gunshot injuries, and the experts have already confirmed there are up to 55 pellets of bullets, fragments, that are currently still embedded inside his skull and other parts of the body, on the left wrist and on the left thigh, which all of them have not been extracted from the Sheikh. And these are distributed over the scalp, the orbital, the left forearm, and the left adductor, and also the thigh area of his body. I'm going to show you a file. I'm going to show you a file of the medical report from a government hospital which has confirmed all these 55 pellets that we are talking about. And the 11th problem being suffered by Shaik Zakzaky up to now, is dyslipidemia. When it comes to Muallima, the wife of Shaik Zakzaky, Hafizahullah, she is also suffering from up to 11 comorbidities, which are also of great concern for her life, and is life-threatening as well. The first one is chronic hypertension. Then she have severe bilateral osteoarthritis. And she have, so like I said, she have chronic hypertension. She has severe bilateral osteoarthritis, requiring total knee replacement surgery, which is rendering her completely wheelchair-bound for the past 5 years now, actually, not even 4 years. It's for the past 5 years. And she have a penetrating soft tissue bullet injury, and then she have a recurrent episodes of severe acute abdominal pain, which is attributed to the foreign body that is in her body. And then she have gastritis. She have hepatomegaly of an unknown cause. She have intrauterine fibroid with cystic degeneration. She have left sphenoid arthritis. Muallima Zina also have dyslipidemia as well, and she have right breast fibroadenoma, and then she have the left axillary LAD. Then she has right simple renal cyst. So these are the 11 medical ailments that Muallima Zina, the wife of Shaik Zakzaky, is also suffering from. So as you can see, based on your question, I have elaborated that Shaik Zakzaky have 11 ailments, and Muallima, his wife, also have 11 ailments which they have been suffering from at least since from 2019 to date. And as far as we are concerned, although all these ailments are being managed by the medical team of Shaik Zakzaky that I have mentioned earlier, but quite a lot of them are actually life-threatening, and they need actions need to be done with regards to these ailments, without which their life continue to be.
The sympathy over the Zaria massacre has triggered more Shaik Zakzaky supporters worldwide. Many have shown compassion and solidarity during period of hardship. People in the neighboring Niger Republic also solidarity with the Islamic Movement leader. I was in Niamey, the country's capital city, to meet Sheikh Saleh Lazare, the representative of Shaik Zakzaky. I met him at his home in the Lazarette area. He sheds light on the leader and the Islamic Movement.
To a takaice abin da zan iya kwatantawa shine cewa da'awar Shaik Ibrahim Zakzaky hafizahullah, zan iya cewa tun wannan lokacin da'awar ta zo ta shigo wannan nahiya, ta shigo wannan yanki na Nijar, matsayinsa mu a wajenmu matsayin jagora ne wanda tunaninmu da shi'urinmu da komai namu muna alakanta shi da wannan bawan Allah. To rashinsa ko kuma cewa ga halin da yake ciki to wani al'amari ne da ya dame mu, ya mayar da mu yanda ka san 'yan tsaki na kaji idan aka ce an raba su da uwarsu. To irin wannan hali muka shiga na wata gangaririya, ba mu san inda muka sa gaba ba, ba mu san halin da muke ciki ba, kullum muna zulumi da ɗarɗar.
What is the present condition of the Zakzaky-led Islamic movement after his release? Professor Abdullahi Dalladi responds to this question.
So that's the situation now. The Islamic activities, the movement of the activities of the Islamic movement are all over, in fact, are growing wider and stronger. Because people, the 2015 massacre has succeeded in telling the world that there is somebody somewhere in Nigeria by name Shaik Ibrahim Zakzaky, who is calling for divine justice to be established to run the affairs of mankind on earth. And whoever cares to know about religion certainly knows that this man is talking about the prophets of Allah and the message of Allah. And then people have started to learn, lend their ears to him, and people are identifying with him. Because people are good people. If you see wicked people, very corrupt, there are very few normally in the society. The good ones will always listen and then want to identify. Perhaps with passage of time, people will now come to align with their ideology with this, and then the Islamic movement is growing stronger and stronger, and inshallah one day, one time, the end of operation will come.
How did Zakzaky and his wife manage their life with severe health conditions since the Nigerian government denied them travel document abroad for medication? Shaik Zakzaky responds to this question.
So we are managing, inshallah. We are just managing the way. See my with chair bound for 5 years. Imagine working on a wheelchair. She's working with electronic wheelchair. All right. For here, it's possible because there's no lift. She has to climb using the help of someone near her to climb to the upstairs. But in the upstairs, moving from one place, so she has to use wheelchair. Even going to toilet from bed, she has to use wheelchair. So we are managing life, that is all.
The Zaria massacre was war between the Nigerian army and the Shiites?
This is not war, it is massacre.
Between the Attorney General of Nigeria, the DSS, and immigration, who is responsible for denying Zakzaky and his wife an international passport to travel abroad for medical attention? The international community are awaiting these answers. What were the main untold stories about the Zaria massacre? Shaik Zakzaky explains.
So they have done a lot of damage, and among those they killed also were some doctors, medical doctors, and because we are running a kind of hospital in that Husseiniya, the center, they murdered all the patients and all the nurses and all the doctors. This was untold.